What up? So last video, I reviewed the Z Fold 7. Now for this one, we're going to look at some dope cases to help you protect your investment. When it comes to cases, I've always been super particular. Like it had to look right, have the right designs on it, couldn't be too thick. Like for my iPhone, I've got probably 5 or 6 different cases. For the Z Fold series, same rules apply here. I didn't want any of those military grade super thick cases. Like it had to be relatively thin, usually needed to have some sort of compartment for the S Pen. Like these were the non-negotiables. With that being said, things started to change. I was no longer looking for a case that had a compartment for the S Pen. Now all of a sudden I was looking for the thinnest case possible, preferably with hinge protection, because for whatever reason, you damage your phone, the first thing they look at if it's a folding phone is the hinge. So all of a sudden now, hinge protection became a thing. Well, if you're looking at a lot of the cases that are on Amazon, the ones with hinge protection are usually pretty thick. And the last thing I need is another cinder block in my pocket. So usually my rule of thumb was whenever I'd buy a new phone, I'd immediately go to Amazon. I'm ordering a tempered glass screen protector and I'm ordering a case, maybe two. This time around was no different. I had a screen protector and a speaking case at least a week and a half before the phone even arrived. It used to be back in the Fold 2 days, maybe Fold 3, where you couldn't just immediately go on Amazon and have a case sent to you before your phone arrived. No, instead you'd find like a manufacturer that was working on a case and they would let you know when it was ready, and then you could eventually order it. But nowadays, it's pretty easy. Like Amazon has 3 or 4 different brands that are all making cases. Spigen alone had, I think, 2 or 3 different ones. So the case that I chose this time, and I was kind of surprised because this brand typically doesn't have a lot in terms of hinge protection, was the Spigen Ultra Hybrid Pro. And I chose the clear so I could show off the blue. And when I first got it, I was pretty surprised. Like it is a dope case and it offers a lot of protection, has MagSafe. Like it checked a lot of the boxes. So much so that I thought this was going to be like the daily driving case for the daily driving phone, if you will. And then I got hit up by a company called Benks, who hit me up through email and they were just like, hey, we want to send you this case. So, take a look at it, maybe toss it in one of your videos, do a review, let us know what you think. And that's always an interesting spot to be in because, like, I'm not going to lie about the product, but at the same time, I don't want to be the jerk where you send me something for free and then I turn around and destroy it and just say this is awful and make the company worse. Like I don't want to do that. I feel like that's mean. So I was very apprehensive about it, but took a look at their website and I checked out some of the cases and kind of had a good feeling about it. So I was like, sure, let's go for it. Let's see what this case is all about. So Bing sent me this case and I'm gonna show you the unboxing now. I was thoroughly impressed. All right, so I got this package in the mail from Benks. Pretty excited. I mean, this is a big box for a case, so we'll see what this presentation is looking like. I think the packaging is Xavier proof. There we go. Okay. It's coming with a screen protector. Got a hinge protection, looks like, on the back. Okay, yeah. Let's see what this is looking like. Oh, and we got a front case too. Nice. That hinge protection is key when it comes to having these foldables because the minute you drop these things, people don't want to cover it on the insurance and asking for deductibles. Okay. Front case is looking pretty good. I'm actually excited. The last couple times I've had to order a front case from overseas, it came warped and I basically just used the phone with a back case and no front. Okay. Got the screen protector and a little Looks like a plastic guide to get it on there. Okay. So as you can see, dope case, came with a front and a back, which is not automatic when it comes to foldable phones. Some of them just come with backs. But on top of that, came with a screen protector as well. So I'm already happy. So the moment of truth came. I went to go ahead and snap this case on my phone and quickly realized that this case is like super thin, the back and the front. And that's big for me. A lot of people may not like that for whatever reason. They may not think that it offers a lot of protection, but I'm the opposite. I don't want one of the super thick phones. Like, I want something that goes in your pocket that still resembles a phone and not a cinder block. And if you look at the case that I have for my Z Fold 6, you'll see that this was perfectly in line with what I was looking for. In fact, for the Z Fold 6, I had to go on eBay and Alibaba and just kind of like type in different stuff like carbon fiber case with hinge protection, carbon fiber case with hinge protection and a back and a front, carbon fiber case with MagSafe. Like, as you can see, it gets frustrating, like how detailed you have to be when going on Alibaba or eBay to try to track down one of these things. And then it takes, I mean, it's coming from China, so it takes forever to get the case. It just is what it is. So much to my surprise, when Benks hit me up and they sent me this case, and it was literally like verbatim everything that I was looking for with the Z Fold 6 case, but now I have for the Z Fold 7, I was over the moon. Like, it's amazing. So there we have it. I have the Benks case, I have the speaking case, and I'm just kind of comparing to see which one's going to be my daily driver. Now, I'm very happy that both have MagSafe because I have MagSafe battery packs. My wallet's MagSafe. I have MagSafe little finger grips where you can stick it on the fridge. Like, that's a big thing for me. The magnets are pretty strong. It holds on the battery pack, it holds on the finger grip, and I've tried shaking the batteries to try to get them to come off, and you really got to put some force into it to get the battery to fly off. The finger grips, it just wouldn't come off. I stuck it to the fridge, and with either case, it's straight. It's good to go. Also, both cases have hinge protection, which is the next big box that needs to be checked. Now, the speaking case has some sort of weird mechanism for its hinge protection, and also the front case does not separate from the rear case, which is really cool because that just means that, like, you don't have to worry about it breaking, you don't have to worry about losing it. It's always there. And I have never seen a case that does that before. So it kind of blew my mind a little bit. For the Benks case, they are separate pieces, but the front part of the case is still, in my opinion, very high quality because I can tell you that from the cases that I had to order from Alibaba or eBay, once they came, the front was warped on each of those to where it didn't quite fit right. And so a lot of times I would just stick a back case on and not the front just because it never fit right. It didn't fit right with the screen protector. It was warped. Whenever I'd open the phone, it'd fly off. Like, it was, to say it was annoying is an understatement. And so I feel that these are both relatively thin cases. Obviously, the Benks one is much thinner than the Spigen one, but they're both relatively thin cases. So I'm not going to be doing any sort of like dropping off of the second floor or any sort of just like torture tests on the phone because I like my phone and I'm not one of those guys that drops my phone in general. But on the off chance that for whatever reason it hits the ground, I feel more than comfortable with either one of these cases being on the phone at the time of the mishap. So let's just get that straight right now. If you were a person that ends up dropping your phone a lot, then perhaps either of these cases might not be for you. Maybe you need one of the big military grade, like the Otter boxes from back in the day. I'm sure they're still making cases, but I mean, they used to make, like, for how relatively thin a traditional candy bar slab phone is, like, you could put an Otter box on it and suddenly it feels like, again, you got a cinder block. So if that's the type of person you are, if you drop your phone a lot or in some sort of, heavy duty environment, then I don't know if either of these cases are for you if you're hard on phones, but if you're hard on phones, then why do you have a Z Fold 7 in general? Like, that just, hard on phones and a foldable don't really mix, in my opinion, unless you have a really good insurance policy or a decent sized bank account. Now, for my own personal preference, especially if you look at how my Z Fold 6 is set up, I'm going to be using the Benks case for the Z Fold 7. That's just what it is because it checks every box that I've wanted out of a case. And it's almost a mirror copy of what I had for the Z Fold 6, except for a much higher quality. So it's a no brainer for me. One of the things that I did notice with both of these cases in terms of the MagSafe ring, like if you're connecting your wallet or a battery pack, for whatever reason, so it does line up. I will say that it does line up, but the camera bump on the Z Fold 7 is huge. And both of these cases have a lip around the camera ring to protect it. So when you go to clip on a battery pack or your wallet, it's rubbing against that camera bump, if you will. So sometimes it doesn't sit completely straight. Sometimes it'll kind of shift a little bit. And it's not a deal breaker for me. It's just something that I noticed. So I think that's just a byproduct of how big the camera bump is on the Z Fold 7 and not necessarily a knock against the cases. Because if you lose that camera bump protection on the case, then it kind of defeats the purpose. So I get it. So yeah, with either of these cases, if you have a Z Fold 7, like you're gonna be happy with it unless you're one of those crazy people that doesn't rock cases on phones, which always catches me off guard. Like I have to double take. I'm like looking and I look back and I'm like, what are you doing? And I kind of get it. Like if you have a dope phone, like if you think it looks good, you kind of want to show it off, but at the same time, you gotta protect your investment. Like that's just crazy to me. But anyway, yeah. So I like both of these cases a lot. Like they check a lot of boxes for me personally. And they both were available before the phone launched. And I think that's huge. So shout out to Spigen and Benks for that. Now, as you know, Benks did send me the case, and I was pleasantly surprised at how much I liked the case. But yeah, thanks for looking out for me on that. And it turns out they actually want to look out for you as well. So they given me a code, and I'm gonna leave that in the description, but it's gonna give you 15% off a Benks case of your choosing. So yeah, shout out to Benks on that. But that being said, let me know what case you have on your Z Fold 7. Like, the more I think about it, it's like cases are like a pair of shoes. Like everybody has their own taste and has their own customization options, and I think that's pretty cool. Like some people don't care, just like they don't care what shoes. So you'll find just some generic case on there, but then there's other people that actually have like specific like looks that they have in mind or features that they want for their case. So yeah, I appreciate the creativity and just people being different. But with that being said, let me know what case you have on your Z Fold 7. And as always, take care.